In recent weeks, it has been revealed that it is possible that Mercedes may wait until November to announce the replacement for Lewis Hamilton, since Toto Wolff has not yet made a decision about Kimi Antonelli and is still going after Max Verstappen. The second one sounded like a pipe dream, but recent results have shown that it could be possible after all. So what is Toto Wolff's master plan? For now, it seems that Antonelli is presumably in the lead to sit in the second Mercedes with George Russell. This comes after it was revealed that they are not presently in negotiations over a Mercedes racing seat. This appears to indicate that they are giving up Max Verstappen by sharing this information. But as we'll later find out in this video, it seems more like a ploy, a way to take the heat of the discussion for now. In recent weeks, it has been revealed that it is possible that Mercedes may wait until November to announce the replacement for Lewis Hamilton, since Toto Wolff has not yet made a decision about Kimmy Antonelli and is still going after Max Verstappen. Despite the hype surrounding the 17-year-old Italian, Antonelli is still adapting to Formula 2 after missing Formula 3. He scored 48 points with Prema, putting him 9th in the drivers' standings, and he's looking for his first podium after claiming 3 P40s. Despite being touted as Mercedes' future, the long-time youngster might make another significant jump next season, with Wolff stating he is in contention to succeed Hamilton. "I would very much like to see him in Formula 1 next year," Wolff said. "Whether that's with us, or another team, or as a test driver. I don't know yet." Although Wolff is still in negotiations with Antonelli, the team's CEO informed media that there are currently no talks taking place with Verstappen. However, this does not preclude the possibility of future occurrences. At a time when Red Bull is still winning races and championships, the team's head believes Mercedes must develop a good car or the best car that drivers will want to drive in. That ought to be our primary focus. In the brutal reality of the sport, there is no place for dreams. But that doesn't mean the dream isn't lingering, even if it is in the background. When asked about Carlos Sainz, who was sacked by Ferrari in favour of Hamilton, Wolff said a simple exchange is out because he wants Mercedes to take a new direction, a route that could still involve Verstappen but not Sainz. "We want to go in a completely new generation, if it is with Kimi or see what Max does," he said. "I didn't want to have Carlos wait anymore. I think we may take a decision in November." Carlos is a race winner in Ferrari, but it all came down to the decision that Ferrari said, "We want to have Lewis Hamilton in the car for next year." All this talk about other drivers and first and foremost Verstappen has prompted Wolff to assess which car is currently F1's fastest. A much more difficult issue to answer than it was this time last year, since Wolff believes Max Verstappen skews the results. And he believes that if Verstappen were to move to another team, it would be to the one with the fastest car or best program for the 2026 car, which Wolff is trying to convey to Verstappen. "The McLaren looked very quick," Wolff told the media after the Barcelona GP. "How quick? I think Max always has a little bit in his pocket and you can see that he makes the difference. Definitely these two at the moment, there's not a lot between them, they are definitely setting the benchmark." Wolff has been open about his opinions on Verstappen's abilities this year, as the Austrian has pushed to persuade Verstappen to take over the seat left empty by Lewis Hamilton in 2025. Talk of that prospect has cooled somewhat following Verstappen's comments that money alone would not be enough to persuade him if a competitive car isn't available, and Wolff has further lowered the odds of it happening by confirming no conversations are presently underway. "No, there's no talks taking place at that stage because I think we need to look at ourselves and improve the car," he said. "I think we just need to continue to improve and look at ourselves. The most important thing is as a team with our drivers, Lewis and George, we've just got to get better and hopefully consolidate our ability to be on the podium and at a certain stage be able to win races on our own. And if you have a good car, good drivers will want to come." Mercedes had come to Barcelona with great expectations for their car, having been in contention for victory in Montreal following Russell's spectacular pole position. Recent changes to the W15, notably a reworked front wing, have brought the car to life, as Lewis Hamilton took his first Grand Prix podium of the year in Spain, beating Russell in the latter moments of the race. Hamilton ended 18 seconds behind the winner in Barcelona, and Wolff confessed the W15 still has a minor pace disadvantage compared to the McLaren MCL38 and Red Bull RB20. "I think what you've seen in qualifying in the race is that the gap is probably around 3/10 to these two," the driver said. "That's what's missing. If we're able to bridge that, bearing in mind they also put upgrades on the car, I think then we could be racing for victory, but that's not on the hands yet. Montreal, with the conditions, yeah, we could have won, but probably we surprised ourselves that we could. and that's why we dropped the ball there. Overall, Wolff has been happy with recent performances. It's a solid result. It's the second time we're on the podium. The car has improved, but you can see that it still needs a few tenths to catch Norris and Verstappen. For us today, it was impossible to fight with them, but we can glean a lot of positives from today. We have made several steps forward in previous races, and it is nice to see the progress made confirmed here in Spain. We haven't reached the top yet, so we need to do more to get there. However, we are on a positive development path, and it's great to be back in the game. After a weekend of whispers, allegations and arguments, the great news was Lewis Hamilton's return to the podium, which he did convincingly. Toto Wolff commented on the performance of his two drivers. It was also fantastic to see two of the best overtakes that I haven't seen for a long time. George made a great start and braked late to take the lead. Lewis's overtake on Sainz in the meantime was correct, and at an important moment in his race. It's been a long time since we've enjoyed a Grand Prix like this with a podium with Lewis. Moving on to the technical aspects, the Austrian team principal highlighted the squad's improvement. Following a difficult 2 years, Mercedes now has a better grasp of ground effect vehicles. This can be partially due to the choice to the W15's revised front wing specification. Our correlation between the wind tunnel and the track didn't work for a good 2 years. Since Imola, all the small updates we brought have improved the balance, and they made the W15 a better car. They are small steps, but they make the difference. Wolff agrees that George Russell did not use the optimum tactic. However, the conditions made it tough for Mercedes to maximise his performance. The strategy with George was wrong, and we also had a slow pit stop. But if we see Lewis, he was able to keep pace with the best in the end and finished 15 seconds behind. So, potentially, there was a 10-second gap. We are, therefore, closer now. We thought the hard was the best choice, and they didn't have any other new softs. George was the first one we stopped, and we immediately realised that it hadn't been the best choice. Lewis managed to extend the stint and then had the advantage of being able to switch to the soft at the end. Wolff is hopeful about the W15's performance at Silverstone. However, he is less enthused about Austria. I think that Norris and Verstappen have been and will be fast on all the circuits. Austria historically hasn't gone well for us. I don't know how it will go this year. But Silverstone is certainly a fast circuit that we know well, where the car has always worked well. Victories in the future? The gap from those in front is around 2-3 tenths, and we must try to reduce it as much as possible, even if the others will also bring updates. In Canada, we probably surprised ourselves. We could have won, but we didn't seize the opportunity. Observing the team's success, the Mercedes team principal feels that the probability of Max Verstappen landing beside Russell might increase weekend by weekend, despite Christian Horner's words in which he guarded the Dutch champion. Horner said that he will remain. Let's see. We leave him with this idea. There is no chatter going on with Max. We need to focus on ourselves and improve the car now. Possibility for Max and Kimi? No decision has been made yet. We want to make this decision as late as possible because anything can still happen. I've always said that we have to focus on ourselves in improving the car, and if the car is going to be better, usually all the drivers want to drive as fast as possible, and that's our priority. We need to allow Lewis and George to finish the season at a high level, and then let's see if the W15 will be a car that Max can convince. We need to consolidate our position and fight for podiums and be able to fight for victories. Having good cars will therefore bring good drivers. But will it also bring Verstappen? What do you think? After all, Mercedes nailed the last engine regulation changes, and moving away from a first-time Red Bull powertrain in 2026 might not be a bad idea. Could we see Verstappen lining up in the W16 next year? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.